The extreme fire weather conditions we all experienced this past week or so allowed the conception reach rank 5 and 6 multiple times. At that point, not only is it unsafe, but the water bombers become ineffective on the front of the fire. When this occurs, the focus of the aerial attack then becomes protection of values that may be at risk on other parts of the fire, as I said, including the flanks and the rear of the fire. One of the most common questions we hear is, why don't the water bombers start at daylight or at least very early in the morning? Several factors had to be taken into consideration when scheduling water bombers. These include pilot duty time, anticipated fire behavior, and maintaining of initial attack capabilities for unexpected fire occurrences and fire behavior in the day. Each day, a plan is formulated to maximize the coverage and time on the fire while taking into account pilot fatigue and safety. Even with the best plans, we have to be flexible as weather conditions and fire behavior change, sometimes from minute to minute. Decisions have to be made quickly, calmly, and rationally. They must be grounded in science and based on the fire conditions at the time. Unfortunately, this morning, we are currently experiencing a low ceiling in the St. John's area, which will delay the water bomber departure this morning. The reason we start them later in the morning is to maximize the amount of suppression we can do during the active burn period in the afternoon and evening. Each water bomber crew can fly 2 separate 4-hour missions, so a total of 8 hours of duty time each day. These duty hours are incredibly valuable and must be used strategically as possible. Of course, with increased numbers of available water bombers, such as additional assets from our friends in Quebec and Ontario, we can extend that coverage period. Again, keep in mind that we must strive to ensure that we maintain aerial suppression capabilities throughout the afternoon and into the evening, which is what we refer to as the peak burn period. This is the most critical and dangerous time for increased fire behavior. There's a huge amount of detail that goes into planning these operations that I won't get into here, but I hope that this helps people understand how we use the finite resources that we have and know that we are fighting with everything we have every day to make sure no one loses their life and that we can save as many homes as possible in this extreme fire season.